Welcome to 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. He has gray hair. He has a gray beard. He wears glasses like the guy in the artwork. Oh, and the guy in the artwork is better looking. Now, here is Gray Hair Dave.
I don't know what it is, folks, but I just like his voice. I like how he's doing it. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, welcome back to 5 Minutes, folks. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I wanted to apologize for this, the way things are being sent out to you. I know I said it was going to be one a day every day. Then we went to 5 days, and then on my Fridays, I get caught up in things, and there's things that have to be done for certain things at certain times for me. The Fridays have been falling by the wayside. And this new job that I have at work is 100% outside. 100% outside. Now, I am covered by a roof and everything, or a roof, but I am outside in the heat all day long, except for 2 1/2-hour breaks, or a 15-minute break and a 30-minute break. Doesn't matter. Now, I'm not one for drinking water. I've gotten over that. Yes, I have. I go through water like it's going crazy. Because the temperature here down in Florida has been in the 90s, the high 90s. The feel-like temperature with the humidity has been way over 100. Now, I'm not complaining about that fact. It may sound like I am, but what I'm saying to you is that it takes its toll on a guy my age, and I'm not used to it yet. I've only been at it a month and a half. Gosh, it's almost 2 months. Let's go a month and a half. And my body still isn't used to it, to the point where I can't come home and on Saturday just be physically exhausted. And I have friends who want me to come out and meet them on Saturday nights at a bar and hear music. And I feel bad because I can't. I just am physically spent. And I don't like that feeling, but that's the position I'm in right now. And these are the facts that I have to go by. This is what it has to be. And I don't like that, but it is what it is. It's a sad saying, isn't it? But it is what it is. So, anyways, let's get past that. I'm sorry. So you get 2 today. Now, yesterday we talked, or the last episode I talked all about 1985. Now this week we're going to start talking a little bit about 1986. Now 1986 was a pivotal year, in a sense. In July, it was it was July of 1976, I started working for Portland Paper, the paper mill. Well, in 1986, I had my 10 years in. I was vested in my pension at the paper mill, which meant I could take it. It would always be there. It would always be available for me when I retired. Now, granted, it wasn't a lot of money then, but compared to today, it's not much at all. But it was mine. And there was a lot going on in life that year. My parents were sick, and there had been a lot of things go bad at the mill. In my time there, and I don't want to go too deeply into this, but in my time there, I had been hurt several times. Thank God, nothing more serious than, getting my hand run over by and a couple other things. But one day at work, a gentleman died in front of my eyes while we were working. I haven't mentioned that much, but because that's a sensitive subject with me. Now, that and the amount of times that I was hurt just facilitated the fact that I needed to not be there anymore. My parents and my wife we're both adamant that I find something different to do with my life. I don't blame them. It was a very dangerous place to work. It wasn't that dangerous if you were doing your job right, but you could, little things happen. I remember the time that I had my hand hurt. By the time I got back from the hospital and got home, my wife was already just about to walk out the door to go to the hospital because she knew I'd been hurt. I don't know what it is. She had this sixth sense. God love her for that. And luckily nothing was broken, but you're out of work for a week or two until the tissue heals and everything else. I didn't break anything, but they were surprised I did not. So was I, but they had to cut my wedding ring off. That did not thrill my wife, which you can understand that, but during that week, we went out and shopped for a different wedding band for me. And we talked more and more and more in 85 and 86 about me getting out of the mill. And I was bound, determined, I'm going to get my 10 years in. And I did. So in July, I quit. I told him, I said, this is my end date, folks. I'm sorry, I'm leaving. And I'm moving out of town. Now, a lot went into that decision to A, leave the paper mill, B, decide what I was going to go do, C, where I was going to go do it with my wife. Because she, like myself, has an equal say in this. But my parents had a say in this. My brothers, their opinion was extremely valuable to me. And her mother's opinion was extremely valuable to her. She had talked to her brothers. Her brothers and I were not exactly the best of friends. We tolerated each other at holidays because they didn't like what I do and I don't like what they did. Doesn't matter. It's over with. And I have nothing bad to say about either one of those boys, except for the fact that she had to put up with them. And her mother was Italian, and boy, could that woman cook. You ate at the holidays. Oh my gosh, you ate at holiday time. It was tough during holidays, folks. You have dinner with your family. We would always do my family first. So we'd have like a brunch, and then we'd go to her mom's house, and there was like a full-fledged 7 or 8 course meal there waiting. And oh man, I never went away from that house hungry. She was such a great cook. Anyways, I digress, as they say. But yeah, 86 was a year of transition. So in our conversations, my wife and I had talked about what we'd want to do. And it just happened that friends of ours, I'd known Paul and she'd known Leanne. They were a couple, married, and he had bought a franchise, a pizza franchise. And it was going to be in Kansas City, Kansas. Well, it's going to be in where was it? I think it was in Overland Park, Kansas. Yeah. Which is a suburb of Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. And we had been hanging around with them for quite a few years, and she knew Leanne from work, and I'd known Paul for years from friends. I think Bill introduced us. But we thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to go out there and work with them, maybe? And who knows? We'll figure something out. And we had a plan, but we didn't have a huge, huge plan. And we had a mobile home at the time. Not a motor home, a mobile home, which we had moved to Kansas City. But anyways, it was an interesting time making those decisions and talking with the people I had to talk to, plus keep working. I had to keep working to afford things. But we made the decision to go. Number one, was great at collections for businesses and skip tracing and all kinds of things like that. So she could get a job pretty much at any company or any bank. And she knew that, and we figured that out early, which made life a little bit easier. And for 20 years at least, if not 15 to 20 years, I had always wanted to work for the airlines. I think I'd mentioned it earlier when the movie Airport came out, and my dad and I were watching it on television. I said, Dad, that's what I want to go do. He goes, well, that's a good idea. Maybe you should. So there was a college in Kansas City that I looked into and I applied to, and I went to college there. And that's about where I'm going to leave it off for today. Going to college, just deciding to go to college at age 29. So 29 to 30, no, 29 and 30. So that's where we're at. When did you go to college? What did you want to do? When did you first retire? How many jobs have you had? Leave me a message on 5 Minutes with Gray Hair Dave. That's the number 5, minuteswithgrayhairdave.com. Also, folks, if you know somebody who doesn't know what a podcast is, doesn't know where to find one, doesn't know what they are, what genre to listen to, how to follow, subscribe, do me a favor and let them know for me, please. Also, if you could, smile at somebody today. Smile when you talk because you have a better tone. It'll make their day. I talked to a couple of ladies last week who were afraid of where they were going to go, and I talked to them. I said, this is no big deal, and one sent me a compliment. It's called a cast compliment. That's because I took the time to smile and talk with them. They took the time to do something back nice for me. Isn't that great? You can do that too. So on behalf of all the goofballs up in my head, which we know are many, you all have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.